Hello, boys and girls and parents. It's Pastor Sam with a Bible hero. Our hero today has a lovely pink background because we're going to talk about a woman named Tabitha. Now, her name is also Dorcas, but that sounds kind of funny to us English folk, so I'm going to call her Tabitha. She had two different names, and that was pretty common back then. You would have two different names, so I'm going to call her Tabitha. Now, we see Tabitha, and she's with Peter. Do you remember who Peter is? Peter is one of Jesus' disciples. Those are the people who traveled around with Jesus, and Peter saw everything that Jesus did, and he heard everything that Jesus said. Now, Tabitha is lying on a bed, and I want to tell you a little bit about our friend Tabitha. She was a wonderful woman who believed in God, and she was a person who sewed clothing. Back then, you wouldn't go to Walmart and get a new outfit. You had to talk to people like Tabitha who would sew some new clothes for you. And Tabitha would make clothing for all the people in her village. She would make very beautiful clothing out of very nice fabric, so it felt nice. And when you wore it, it wouldn't be itchy or gross or weird. It would be good clothing. But one day, Tabitha got very sick and she died. Now, the people who lived in Tabitha's village were sad, and they heard that Peter was in a nearby town. They sent a few people to go and talk to Peter and to say, Peter, we need you to come and help our friend Tabitha. So Peter came, and when Peter came, Tabitha was dead. She was lying on her bed, dead. And all of the people were crying. They were very sad that Tabitha had died, and they were showing people all of the wonderful clothing that she had made for them. And Peter was going to help out our friend Tabitha. So he told all the people to leave. You guys leave the room. Let me and Tabitha be here. And he said, Tabitha, arise. And she got up. She opened her eyes, and she sat up in bed. She was alive again. That's a wonderful thing that Peter did for our friend Tabitha. And then Peter brought Tabitha back down to all the other people, and they were very happy. Give me a big old smiley face. They were very happy to see their friend Tabitha again. Now, if you have ever seen someone who's dead, like a family member, everyone who trusts in Jesus will rise from the dead. Not when Peter comes, but when Jesus comes. When Jesus comes back, everyone who's dead is going to rise again, and we're going to see each other, and we're going to live with Jesus and with all our brothers and sisters in the church forever. That's a wonderful thing. And Peter showed us, he gave us a little bit of look at what Jesus is going to do when Jesus comes back. That's our friend Tabitha. We're going to pray, and we're going to thank God for these wonderful things and for the promise of new life. So you fold your hands and you repeat after me. Dear Jesus, thank you for dying and rising from the dead. Help us to remember that we will rise too. Amen. Thank you for coming and hearing about my good friend Tabitha. She was a wonderful Christian lady who got raised from the dead, and Jesus is going to raise her from the dead again, and he's going to raise all of us from the dead. So I will see you guys next time.